The most affordable ADU projects. These are the three types of ADUs, from the most expensive to the least expensive. Number one, garage conversions. These are the most cost-effective ADU projects because the foundation and framing work are minimal, and oftentimes there's some existing utilities near the garage. Number two, detached new construction. These are the second most cost-effective ADU projects because there's minimal demolition and no existing foundation and framing to tie into. There can, however, be a lot of utility tie-in issues. And number three, attached additions. These are the least cost-effective ADU projects because there's a lot of demolition to the primary residence and usually difficult framing tie-ins. Oftentimes, the primary home has difficult to match roofing, which means the whole house might need to be re-roofed to look right. Save money on your ADU build. Here are our top 3 money-saving tips for your ADU project. Number 1, plumbing fixture optimization. One of the largest costs of an ADU project is the plumbing. If you locate the water heater, kitchen sink, and bathroom closer together, they can share vents, supply lines, and are shorter. And also, there's less trenching. This small change can save you thousands. Number 2, shape. A rectangular layout is substantially cheaper than an L or a U shape. The amount of labor in the roof for more ornate layouts is substantially greater than a simple rectangular layout. And finally, number 3, reducing cabinetry. Another large cost in construction is cabinets. Doing an inventory of exactly what you'll need to store and providing only enough cabinetry for those items can save you as much as $10,000 on a typical build. Top 3 hidden ADU costs. Number 1, utility tie-ins. For example, you could have a sewer drain in your front yard that you can't reach, so maybe a sewer injection pump is needed. Or perhaps you have a gas tie-in that requires you to upgrade your gas meter. Most tie-ins require some sort of upgrade to your electrical panel. These costs can range from $4,000 to $7,000. 2, solar requirements. All new dwellings in the state of California are required to have solar panels. Sometimes there's local exemptions for shadowing or using existing structures. So that's the one thing you'll need to check out with your local building department to see if you have solar requirements before you build. These costs can range from $10,000 to $18,000. Number 3, landscaping. Depending on where we do our utility tie-ins, we may have to tear up a lot of landscaping. Or oftentimes, when we have to bring in equipment for the foundation, we might have to remove gates and fences, and that can further lead to more tear up of additional landscaping. New landscaping and landscaping costs can range from $5,000 to $25,000. Big news! The city of Sacramento has just released 3 new sets of pre-approved plans. The plans are simple rectangular ADUs they designed for multiple lot locations, including 0 lot lines. One plan is for a studio, one plan is for a 1-bedroom, and the other includes 2 bedrooms. If you go with one of these pre-approved plans, you can save 3 to 6 months on your design process. With a pre-approved plan, basically all you need to do is wait for the contractor to get you an estimate, and then approve it, of course. Overall, you could potentially save $10,000 to $15,000 in design costs and fees. Of course, the downside here is lack of custom options if you're looking for something specific. If you're looking for an expedited, less expensive ADU option in Sacramento city limits, check out the site below now. adu.cityofsacramento.org. Title 24 savings for your ADU project. Title 24 requirements have a huge impact on your ADU design. Title 24, aka California's Energy Code, is basically a point system that rewards energy efficient building and punishes building that leads to more energy usage. Every code cycle, California creates a model home of efficiency to which a new home must meet or exceed in efficiency standards. Some of these measures may be quality insulation, high-efficiency HVAC systems, or hiring a third-party inspector to verify the home has met various green building standards. There are hundreds of different ways to get the Title 24 points required, and the cost can vary greatly. So it's important, extremely important, to hire a contractor and design team that can find you ways of meeting the Title 24 that aren't high in labor and material cost. Avoid this costly mistake for your ADU project. Not considering how your property drains can be a costly mistake during your ADU build. Before you consider your ADU placement, it's critical to check your backyard during the rainy season and know exactly where the water is pooling or moving into a neighbor's yard. A simple thing like poor downspout placement can mean a very angry neighbor and a lot of landscaping removal to install an underground drainage system. Sometimes drainage systems have to be installed no matter where you place your ADU, but it's better to know that before you start construction. HELOC versus cash out refinance for your ADU project. Should I use a HELOC or a cash out refinance to finance my ADU? In our last video, we showed you that a HELOC loan is great for a high interest rate environment since it doesn't affect the existing rate on your home's mortgage. Unlike a HELOC, in a cash out refinance, you change the loan terms of your existing home. The main benefits of a cash out refinance is the lower interest rate and fixed rate payments that don't change over time. Here's how it works. Say your home is worth $1 million and you owe $500K. This means you have $500,000 in equity. With a cash out refinance, you could take out $300K to pay for your new ADU, but now your mortgage is $800,000. If your original mortgage was 3%, but now rates are 7%, your mortgage just went through the roof. But the opposite is true. If your original mortgage rate was high and the current rates are low, you win big time. How to compare home builders. First, ask if you can see one of your builder's job sites in progress. The top 3 things to look for are: number 1, do the employees act professionally? Number 2, are there any noticeable safety hazards? And finally, number 3, does the workmanship look aesthetically pleasing and meeting your standards? If you're not able to visit a job site in progress, rate your potential home builders on these 3 metrics. Number 1, ability to communicate. Number 2, level of detail in the contracts. And finally, number 3, appearance of past projects. Save money on electrical requirements for your ADU project. Because an ADU is considered as a dwelling, the same electrical requirements for a 2,000 square foot home apply to a 600 square foot ADU. This means that the average ADU will have around 12 to 16 circuits with a 100 to 200 amp electrical service. Exterior lighting must have a timer or solar switch. Exterior outlets must be weather resistant, and most interior outlets will need to be arc fault protected. Most lighting is also required to be on a dimmer switch as well, and a vacancy switch is required in the bathroom. Smoke detectors must also be interconnected so the multiple sound off when one is triggered. The most common mistakes with electrical work is putting too many fixtures on one circuit. This can lead to flickering lights and constant tripping breakers when running appliances. If you're constantly getting up to reset your breaker or use an extension cord to plug in an appliance, that can get annoying really fast. Avoid this struggle by hiring a professional to wire your ADU. ADU scams. Ever see an advertisement online for a $100,000 ADU? U.S. News and World Report states the average cost of a mobile home in the western United States is $138,000. Now that doesn't include a foundation, utility connections, permit fees, solar panels, or impact fees. Ask yourself which is cheaper, a mobile home built in a factory or a custom-built dwelling created in your backyard. If someone offers you an ADU for significantly less than $200,000 in California, they're lying, or they haven't built one before, or they're hiring subcontractors that haven't built one before.